how quickly can you Photoshop something? How just like cut that and put that onto that, like roughly, like just not making it, not paying attention.
Minute or two.
It's Saturday night. It's 7 p.m. It's now time for Transformers The Show.
Hello and welcome to Transformers The Show 67. On tonight's show, got all the usual pickups and reviews. Plus, we've got an appearance from Unicron. I'm going to be doing some Hard Panther live on the show. And also, we've got a discussion about value in Transformers. Is there value and what represents Transformers value? That is it. Transformers The Show 67. Off we go!
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Yeah, this is the photos that have been released of the Beast Wars re-released figures. So it's I believe the original ones, re-released in the old style packaging. So those photos came out. Told you it was a slow news week. But for Beast Wars fans, again,
I just think it's a bad idea when you got the new stuff. I think it'd have been cool to put the new stuff in old vintage packaging. But I don't see here.
I wonder if the backlash they got over the Headmasters played any part of that. You know, putting the Titan Master figures in. A lot of people saying how disappointed they were they wasn't the original G1 figures.
Why did these Jeremy Kyle fans ruin it for everyone? Oh, jeez.
Jeremy Kyle. You've got some of these, haven't you, Jamie?
Yeah, I've got some of the old stuff. Well, actually, it's my brother's. My cousin said talk to me. But yeah,
by default, it's now yours.
Yes, and they're awful compared to the new stuff.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, again, if you've got a connection to this, I'm sure it's fantastic. I'm sure they're as excited as I would be for, I don't know, G1 Blaster or something, but or at least a new version of Blaster. But yeah, it looks kind of cool. Be interesting to see how well it sells. I suppose that's the big thing.
And then it's a re-release of a re-release then. So it's the same that they did last.
It's re-release of the original toys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which they did 5 years ago.
Yeah, at least.
They've done it. Yeah, they've done it at some point, haven't they? I can't remember how many years ago it was. But
yeah,
they have done it before. This is Kingdom T-Rex, which is this Megatron repaint, but as a different character, as I understand it. So there's been photos that have come out of him.
You can tell how passionate we get about Beast Wars news.
Yeah,
really.
We cannot hide our
fire in our soul.
I actually quite like the colours on it.
Yeah, he is cool.
I prefer those colours to the Barney the Dinosaur one.
I actually think the Barney the Dinosaur colours actually work quite well.
Sorry, what version is this? Sorry.
This is still the re-release.
Kingdom T-Rex. So this is an upcoming Kingdom figure.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Because there was.
This is not the re-release. No, this is new.
No, because there was a Jurassic Park version. Is this the Shattered Glass version? Because there was a Jurassic Park version, wasn't there? Which was like a traditional T-Rex. I say traditional. No one knows what it looks like, but almost like a mustard color T-Rex, wasn't there?
It's listed as Kingdom T-Rex. And that's as far as my knowledge on this goes at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in the comics yet.
I know they listed it previously, so I'm assuming it's a different character. My understanding from what I've seen and people's comments on it is it's a different character, but it's obviously based off the Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron mold.
Right, we're going to guess the news again.
So
guess the news. What's next?
Yeah, so that's everything for Mainline.
Better than that.
Slow week, Hasbro, although compared to probably about 20 years ago, quite an active week.
And then we have third-party news, including this. So, Paul.
This is New Age Lucifer. So it's another repaint of Starscream, their Seeker mold. It's just one of my favorite Transformers ever. So really happy. Cleans up well at the back, nice and tidy. It's one of the best alt modes. £44, bruv, for one of these. And then I think there's a few more recolors coming up.
Bits and pieces.
It's like do you get excited about like when like your favorite porn star releases a new video like with a different guy? It's like it's just repaint. It's like the same thing, right? It's like
the Hitman's Heart.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's like
You get excited. Wait a minute. Sorry, you're talking about porn, and you're saying you get excited because it's a different guy.
Yeah. It's a guy that's important.
Same girl, new guy.
That's on video now.
This is it.
For all time.
This is it, right? But it's the same girl, right? But she's wearing a new costume. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't say that. You said a new guy.
Let's face it, right? It's always.
You didn't say that though, did you, Alexis?
But to answer your question, yes, it's exactly like that.
It's like that seeker is looking up and saying, "Did you hear what Alexis just said?"
Yes.
I love how what comes out of my mouth, and then you're like,
I don't want to see what comes out of your mouth after the stuff you've been watching.
You had to go. I was being clean.
I had to go there. You're talking fucking porn stars.
And the news.
Yes,
they're people too, you know. They are people too.
And they've done a version of Red Wing.
Yeah, it's nice.
It does look good.
Really, really, really good.
It's a nice
well
movie,
done, Newage.
to be fair. And it definitely looks slightly more articulated than the Earthrise one, but I'll still take Earthrise, thanks.
No, but I was
Not
being
the Earthrise
genuine.
Red Wing, obviously.
Paul, do you get excited when you see this? Because obviously you've got like 20 of them already. So like, do you really get excited when you see another one?
There's something about the Seeker mold which I've always I'd love. If I didn't have these, I'd collect all the Earthrise ones, or it's just having them in all the different colors really appeals. And I don't get it with other things. Like I've got a lot of the side swipes. Like Jamie sent me one. I've got a couple of other ones. They don't quite excite me as seeing a Seeker in a different, because it's kind of just like different colored jets. I don't know what it is about it.
Strange, isn't it? Strange. Yeah. It's like I love the Seekers for that, and it's Do
they all come with these accessory packs then?
Yeah.
No. Do they?
They don't all come with the. No, you're right. They don't come all with the crown. About 3 of them come with the crown and the wings, but they'll come with the guns and a bit of the space bridge. You can build a big space bridge.
Why does that one seemingly come with the crown then?
And the
isn't he a very new character?
Yeah,
so it's obviously nothing to do with the character. It's just so you get some extra bits.
He was based on Starscream, wasn't he, Bill?
Red Wing.
Yeah.
Where's he from, Jay?
He comes with one
in terms of the character or the
character. Yeah, it was based on Starscream.
Was he? What genre was he from? I haven't heard of Red Wing. Sorry, apologies. I'm being ignorant here.
Transformers.
No.
The only Red Wing I know is the Siege one.
Is he?
What's next in the news?
East Wars, clearly.
East Wars compared to West Wars.
East 17 Wars.
East-West Wars.
Small pictures of more MacMan's toys. Blitzwing.
This looks really good.
I don't know if he looks as good as Astro Train did.
I don't know if you compare him to
I think with the guns off, it looked bad, but Astro Train nailed at least 2 good modes: alt mode and train mode.
There's no picture of the jet mode, though, is there?
No, I just forgot to do it. It looks like Astro Train. It looks like
so there are pictures of it. We just
it looks like a G1 Astro Train.
But we could all use the imagination, Joe.
I think I looked at it and I thought, nah.
If we close our eyes and believe, get your hand out there. Anyway, they showed a photograph of
There's no next.
I'm happy there's no next.
It's almost like that's a relief.
It looked very close to the G1 jet. So
yeah, it did. You're quite right. Okay, on to pickups. Who'd like to go first?
I'll go first.
Cool.
I didn't get anything.
Cool.
Moving on.
But you got good looks.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Jamie.
You're
I also got beer, so there you go. I got a pickup. I got Stella.
I hate you.
Nice. Alexis, do you want to go next? We'll get you wash your semi-sober.
Yeah, fuck off. Can do.
He's really not.
I'm semi. I've always got a semi, mate.
That's what Sam says.
Yeah. So first of all, just want to say, from last week, look at the size of that helicopter. That's massive.
Alan.
Look at that. Yeah, Alan. So, someone said start
from accounting.
Can it fly, Alexis?
Alan?
Alexis, could you spin it really fast and just fly it? See,
it doesn't get that reverse effect.
It doesn't spin really fast. It wobbles like when it spins. It's like it doesn't spin really fast.
Waste of money, then, isn't it? Take it back.
But what I found really interesting is transformation-wise. And Paul, I'm gonna have to send you one of these unique toys ones. They're fucking awesome for triple changes. You don't break them; they're just there, right? Different chest to what's underneath. He has a different chest.
Yeah.
It's like it's really quite the transformation. Is quite unique. Unique toys transformation. They're quite they're intriguing how they transform, and they're very good. I've never had a bad Unique Toys transformation like almost like DX9, because the DX9 and Unique Toys are the same. This guy's just massive. This is what attracted me to this guy in the first place. I saw this guy in his form at TF Nation a few years ago, and struck up a conversation with a lovely gentleman. And it's a phenomenal box. When I do my Spring Wars, he's going to feature, which is really interesting.
Does the head not turn around then?
What, underneath?
Underneath, because you can see his face, can't you? Visible head syndrome.
Yeah.
Can you turn it round so you can't see it, or does it flip away underneath the chest?
Yeah, you can turn it around. I just didn't bother. Again, Half Panther.
Nice one, mate.
It was interesting.
Getting ahead is very difficult.
I had to look at the picture there because I couldn't work out one bit. I was like, "Does that go right there?" And I was like, looking at the picture, going, "Does that go?" Oh, I see it. And some bits are so toy, I had to get my spudger out. Even though this is like about 8 years old, this toy, but £65, such phenomenal value that is. That's genuinely that's what gets me excited about Transformers. Still, is that whole like playability there, like. The modern stuff, yeah, it's okay, but that's
when I used to play with a chopper.
Right, and actually doing some pickups. You've done what you got last week in the discussion about Unique Toys.
Nice. I got this guy. I got a little man here. This is a Magic Square. Oh, focus. Magic Square Cliff Jumper. Again, take him straight out the box so you can see no tires on there. I haven't done that yet, but straight out the box. I think this guy is really posed, really good. I think he's much better than the Iron Factory. 20 quid. So, yeah, really good, that guy.
Cool. What else should I make up that I got this week?
Oh, dear.
I got the Magic Square metallic version of Megatron. I really like the mold. Frustrated the hell with it because I think it's a complex transformation, but the mold's really good. And I just thought with Magic Square, the frustrations everyone has is the chalk plastic style, but the metallic versions look really good. So I thought I'll try the metallic version, Megs, because it does look a lot better, and see if it does look better. Because I keep looking at New Age Galvatron, and I won't pay the money for the new one, which is what they call the metallic version. But I still think the original New Age Davros Galvatron, Darius, sorry, not Davros, Darius was metallic. I thought he looks much better than the original MS Megatron, so I thought I'll get that. And the Prime, I've realized this now, is so hard to find. Like the Magic Square metallic Prime, he's so hard to find the X version. But so I bought this and I thought I'll give it a go and see what it looks like. And then
there's a lot of Legends size Megatrons. I think he's the best one in robot mode. Yes, yeah, agreed. He just has the stance and the presence, doesn't he? So yeah, agreed. And obviously the accessories. And then last but not least, I won't go into too much detail. I've got last but not least, that's it. I'll share screeny. I got someone who is trying to escape, but they cannot. Let's move this down here. Sam?
Because that's different. They're trying to they're trying to get away.
Nice.
There we go. So I got so hot off the press. This is MMC Getaway, which is what's it called?
MMC Exitus.
MMC Exitus.
Yeah, he's IDW's Getaway.
He is IDW's Getaway, and
nice.
I'll just spoiler alert or unspoiler alert. I haven't got that far in the comics, so I don't know how much of a badass he is. Because I hear he's quite a villain, or anyway, I know he's a mutineer, but I don't know the full story. So that's all I know. I know there's casualties along the way, so I don't know anything. So I thought for me, this is my interpretation of Getaway. And again, poke holes what you like. It's just to display the toy, and I will say the toy is a very good action figure. But when MMC release Orion packs and with the 219 points of articulation, and then release Getaway, which they could have done a long time ago, you're disappointed because there's things like ankle rockers which you don't get. Shoulders are fine, wrists are okay, but generally you're like going, oh. And you think with the toy this day, because if you imagine MMC, the original one, which was the Hot Rod, was a long time ago, you think this is an older toy or action figure, sorry. So I'm a little bit disappointed. I think the sculpt is really good. I just think I'm disappointed that MMC didn't up their game a little bit and produce a bit more. So, but anyway, my interpretation of him. So I put him next to, I think, the other badasses, the other guys that obviously are two-faced. So obviously IDW Prowl and Double Dealer there. Obviously we both know who double cross people. So figures there. I took a little picture there from is it the episode Lost Lights episode, like the front cover number 1, is it? Where you have Getaway. Is that the one? Well, he shows the other mute. Is that the one? It was episode. That's number 3. Is it with the mutineers, isn't it? He sort of displays.
I can't remember which issue specifically it was, but yeah, I can see what you.
Blue Streak and Blaster. I put him in here because he's always in there, and this is actually taken from the cover because I don't have those guys. Because this is an interesting character. They had Mainframe. I thought they had in there, and then this guy at the back. I can't remember. He looks like a cross between like a love child of Star Saber and Hot Rod.
Yeah.
But I don't know who he is. So again, I'll come to that eventually. But I know there's a bit of a fight between these guys. So he photographs really well. So Hot Rod cruising along the way. Obviously, he jumps out the window, or whatever, off the plateau to try and attack him. Hot Rod comes up and bats him away and goes, "How dare you, sir? I have arms. Have at thee." And then they have a little bit of a brawl, and after a bit of fisticuffs, Hot Rod then attempts to blow his head off, and then Exodus, aka Getaway, decides that he's had enough here. He squares off and says, next time, and he gets away. And then obviously Getaway is going to go see his good old pal Lenny Kravitz and get away. And they have a little bit of a bop on the stage, as you can see there. And it's Lenny Kravitz and Exodus getting away.
Beautiful. Lovely pictures as well.
And he's gone because he's just so, taken back.
Yep, sometimes you just get us too emotional.
Yeah, you just have to walk away.
Right.
Get away.
Jamie, do you want to go next?
Yes. I'm going to go now. Yeah. So I got this weekend, this week, I can't actually remember what day it was. Was it Monday? Yes, it was Monday. I got Unicron. And I was really looking forward, to watching Mainline pick up the box and take it across the threshold as a backpicks. But the postal service decided to bring it into the house. They were being really nice, so that kind of spoiled that.
How dare they?
But it's a massive box, as you're well aware, Alexis, and I was going, oh my God, it's huge. And then when I opened it, Mainline went, oh, it's getting bigger. And I said, it's even going to get bigger still. And then I realized she was talking about Unicron. But yeah, so I was just going to share some photos. Share screen. Optimized. So there is I'm just going to show video panel. So there's my first pictures of Unicron. And I just took that photo just to sort of it's a generic one from Transformers the movie, and all the posters you see these characters with Hot Rod holding up the Matrix. And it's just to show you the size, give you a sense of scale, especially when you think about Ultra Magnus being leader class. And yeah, it is massive. I was trying to go for a sort of green hill with the blue being the ocean and that being the sky at night. Didn't really work out the way I'd hoped. And that's sort of just zooming in there to see the classic characters in that poster.
Great
there
photo.
he is. Oh yeah, I'll go back and look at it again. I did kill myself taking these photos. But yeah, there you have, and actually, I do prefer, I still prefer the Titans version, even though I've got the new Studio Series versions, Cup and Blah. I still prefer the Titans Return versions. I just think they look better. And then we've got Scorpionox. Lord Scorpionox. And yeah, it is massive. And it's quite heavy. I mean, you're talking about 16 pounds, this Unicron. I don't know what that is in British scale. I guess it's about over a stone and a bit. But yeah, £16. So it's heavy for Americans, light for UK people. And I'm just trying to sort of like show the detail which is in this figure, because the detail, the topography is quite immense. The paint apps are quite simple, but to be honest, with all the fiddling around you have to do when you're transforming it, I can see why, because you are going to scrape some of the paint and stuff if you're not careful. You know, the silver paint, sadly. There it is with all the other sort of figures to give you an idea of scale. You know, you've got Core class there, Voyager, Leader class, Commander class. You've got Combiner Wars there in Victorion, and then you've got Titan class with Scorpionox. As I said, he is a massive, big lad. There he is there with Hot Rod, Warren Cup transformed. You can see the detail in the ring as well. I mean, the ring's really quite sturdy. You know, it's quite strong, you know, and you have to sort of like, you know, fix it together. And it's a bit of a ball ache at first, but yeah, it works so well. There's the head of Unicron, who also comes with a faceplate. You've also got the shuttle from the movie, and you've got the two little figures, which are like Hot Rod and Galvatron, which are absolutely tiny. These things are going to get lost, so I'm going to have to put them away somewhere safe. There we have Unicron by himself in his planet mode. Now, it's there's so many different versions of Unicron in the continuity, but you don't really know what scale he is. I mean, in Marvel Comics, I think he said the scale was like the size of Saturn, which is ridiculously big, you know. But in the cartoon, it was more like the size of the Earth's moon, you know. So it's like scale just seems to go anywhere. And I know in some continuities, his scale changed on how much he'd eaten. So the more he eats, the bigger he becomes. The less he eats, you know, the smaller he is. So like, I like to think of my Unicron as being on the Atkins diet, and that's why he's a lot smaller in scale. Just zooming in on there, you can see the sort of teeth, and again, the topography there, the detail, which you don't really appreciate, because although size-wise, he isn't like immensely bigger than the Titans, he is. It is like there's no fillers, there's no spaces, you know, everything is solid. It is quite heavy and put together. And I know people say this Unicron, I know they were saying stuff like, oh, he's a shell former. But as a shell former goes, he's a complete freaking shell. He's hidden in there, which is quite an amazing thing. You know, there's no little wee hand showing. You don't know there's a robot inside there.
It's like a pretender.
Yeah.
Titan class pretender.
But that's a good way, that's a good analogy, actually, because he's very much like that. So zooming in there, just going around. I mean, you want to use this stand, and you want to use this stand when you transform it. It makes things so much easier.
Were you okay putting it on the stand initially when you had to get it out of the box and put it on the stand?
Yeah, because I read the instructions, Alexis. It was amazing. It took me like 6 minutes.
That helps.
You know, it was like
me too.
Just opening it up and close it down. I would say the annoying thing is it's fiddly to hold until you can get it onto the freaking stand. You know, so I used a blanket to put it down on, just so I can, you know, open the stuff up. I didn't want it sort of bashing or, you know, rubbing against something else. And there again, just having a closer look at the rings there and the wonderful detail. And there he is eating wheelie, just to show these jaws, which, you know, if you slide it out of disc, the yellow out of disc, the jaws open and close. You know, very good.
It almost looks like a shuttle, like broken up, like that. Almost because it's a similar color to like the shuttle. Pretty cool, mate.
Yeah, and there we've got Unicron transformed. This took me about, I don't know, maybe 40 to an hour. I know it wasn't fast. I watched a couple of videos. I definitely didn't do Hard Panther. I watched Prime versus Prime and Imago. I watched those two guys to get an idea of what I was doing. You know, and he just looks amazing.
Did you enjoy the transformation?
No, I don't enjoy ever transforming something. I enjoy getting from stage one and then finishing it, just because it usually hurts my hands. You know, it's a hefty piece. It's a good idea to use the, you know, the
Stand.
when you transform it. It makes it so much easier. And then when you have them in robot form, it's easy to take them out the stand if you so wish. But as they say in the instructions, he's about 16 pounds in weight. I would keep him on the stand. There's no point not having him on the stand, especially if the stuff you put him on has a knock, you could topple over. At least with the stand, he's got a better chance of staying on.
For your benefit, that's 1.14 stone or 7.26 kilos in case you asked a question earlier. So just in
cool.
case.
So there's just some photos. As I said, there's absolutely nothing, you know, there's no gaps in this guy. Okay, he's like got a hell of a backpack and he's carrying a lot of the stuff in his feet there. But, you know, it just really doesn't bother me. Not at all. There's a close-up of his head. The head's got not bad articulation, you know, but the collar does prevent it from turning any further than that. You know, you can take the face masks there. Interesting thing, it's got a thing at the back, which you can move the eyes from side to side.
Yeah.
You know, so just to freak people out. But you can't see it when it's got the face mask on. And then you can put on the battle damage face mask and a new chin. You know,
nice.
It stops, you know.
End of the moving.
Yeah. You know, so that's quite cool. It's nice to have that option. It's like, you know, something they've thought about.
Which one do you prefer?
People want to see the scale, you know, so they have got Titan's Return Hot Rod on his hand.
Fucking hell. That's mental.
That isn't
I thought that was...
World's smallest hot rod.
Is it?
Oh, thank you, Alexis. Dick.
I honestly thought it was Titans Return. I was like,
yeah, that was the whole idea. But, you know, I was thinking before words, should we just meet Alexis so he doesn't spoil my jokes?
Yeah, sorry.
You know.
Yeah, do it again. Do it again. I won't say anything.
That's okay. You've ruined it now. It's okay. I'm going to cry later.
We can gasp.
Yeah.
I got that. I believed you. I gasped. You had me.
Yeah, I know. So, but yeah, that's a smallest hot rod. So there he is next to Titan's Return, Scorpionox. And yeah, as I said before, it's not much bigger, but my God, the weight is. You could feel the difference in the weight, you know. And there he is with all the other sort of like different sizes and stuff like that, core class, you know, Titan Master, you know, Voyager, Leader class, Grimlock and Ultra Magnus, and Commander class with Jetfire. Just to give you an idea of about how big he is. He is smaller size-wise when he's in robot form, you know, when it comes to height, because the planet, you go over the rings, take up a much bigger space. So if you're wide about space, the robot form is probably the way to go. There he is with Metroplex. He's happy there. He's going to smash Metroplex from behind. There he is there with Metroplex and obviously, you know, Trypticon. You know, Trypticon usually you have him like you always bent over more like dinosaur mode, but I had his legs straight that just to give him that height because he's a big boy actually. Fortress Maximus and Scorpionox. Holding wise, he finds it. I mean, the ratchets. See, when you move those ratchets, you feel like the house is shaking. The ratchets in the shoulders, powerfully strong. Soft ratchets in the elbows, but easily enough to hold them two Voyager figures. Easy enough. And he could probably hold a leader class if his hands were bigger, so you could probably support a leader class figure as well. Even a commander class figure, I would guess he uses his two hands. And in his mouth, he's got a Titan Master.
Good.
He's eating the Titan Master now.
I did wonder what that was. It looked like a white splodge. I was like, I wasn't going to say anything, and then you mentioned it. So,
yeah.
You look.
Articulation-wise, Ratchet's really strong in the legs. As I said before, in the stand, you can put him into different poses. Not too brilliant. You know, it's like, I mean, you're moving this thing. It's like a monster. You feel like you're working out. I honestly feel like I've been to the gym. You know, I'm just absolutely knackered. My body's crying out in pain. Just me moving this guy around, especially when you're transforming him and you have to like take things apart and then use your muscles to push it in and stuff. It's like, but it doesn't feel like anything's going to break. You you don't feel like anything's going to break.
What'd you bench? I bet about 200. What'd you bench? I bench Unicron. Shit, man, that's good.
So there we've got Unicron there, you know, grabbing out stuff. I do wish the hands were more filled. You know, I think they could have done that. It would have been cool to have a nice palm in his hand. But I'm kind of hoping a fella will put it out, because there's no reason not to have it, really. And that's my pictures of Unicron, and I love the figure. Absolutely love the figure.
Amazing.
And as I said before, you've got this sort of like stand with this sort of like shuttle there, the two little figures, which will obviously go missing. So I'm going to have to put them somewhere. And you've got this wonderful instruction booklet, you know, which I didn't use because I used YouTube videos. But yeah, I did use it to like just do little stuff, you know, like just to get an idea of what I was doing, how I put the stand together, etc.
It's better than most instruction books, to be honest, though, isn't it? Like, you know, when you get like instruction books and it's pretty shit. That's the one instruction book I still have on my desk. It's like, it's actually pretty good in comparison.
Yeah, because the only difference I did from the instruction booklet when I transformed it was I put the legs down first before focusing on the arms, because I just found it easier that way. That was literally the only difference. But yeah, that's me finished, Paul.
Thanks, Jamie. That's awesome. Right, I'll go to my pickups now. Bear with. Wifey's just got me my pint glass. Thanks, wife. I can't see the screen. That's what I was saying.
Paul.
Yeah.
Where's all the rum gone?
What?
Where's all the rum gone?
Rum?
In Jack Sparrow. Where's all the rum gone? Because some of you are going, oh, look at my rum.
It's not a rum night.
Oh.
Unless you mean rumber. Right. Sorry.
No, I don't.
Right, so I only got two things. First of all, I went to Smith's today, and it was awesome to be back inside the toy shop looking at toys. I got He-Man. I had to pick him up. He's got the sword and the shield behind his legs, and I've had a chance to bust him out. I can't wait to do that. He's like the original mold, but like highly articulated. So like a super duper version of the toy. And I'm kind of building a bit of like an 80s and 90s toy shelf over here. So I've got some Mask, Mario Kart, no, Mario, Boba Fett. That's not Boba Fett. Oh yeah, Boba Fett's there. Mandalorian, the Turtles and stuff.
I like the Intercity. That's very 80s.
Oh,
and
nice
then,
one.
but
I didn't know if anyone would recognise that.
I have to question two things though.
Halo.
Halo.
Your sexuality. Oh, right. Yeah, Halo.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Halo, and then Pikachu. And because very clearly 90s. Oh, and
I said 80s and 90s.
Oh, sorry.
Did,
Star Trek. Oh, okay, sorry. And then Star Trek, that's 70s.
That's the USS Enterprise 1701D, which was in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, 70s.
Massive
Schools.
penguin. No, if you meant the 1701A, you'd be right. So yeah, £14 from Smith's. I can't wait to bust them open. So I've just literally just come back from the shops, got had some dinner, and then gone on to the show. And then I got Cyclonus as well. So obviously everyone loves a bit of Cyclonus. I've saw Jamie's and Andy's bots, and he looks. Do you know what it is? It's something which used to happen when I was a kid, and you'd look at the Transformers catalogs when you used to get them, and you'd see their alt modes and their robot modes, and I'd sit there as a kid trying to work out what bit transforms to make him turn into that. And when I looked at the back, I was picking up quite a few of them. I thought, how does that work? And I got that thing. I thought, God, that's what I used to think as a kid. How does that transform into that? It really intrigued me. So
I did
picked
that
it
Hard Panther. It's actually a good
Did
one.
you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to him. So after the disappointment I had personally with Huffer, I think I'm onto a good thing with him.
Okay, look at the box there. Am I right in saying that alt mode in the picture is a little bit longer than it is in life, or is that actually how it turns out?
He's not actually
Like
real.
Honus
This is
is
based on
real.
a comic. and
He means the
cartoons
toy,
in
the
80s.
actual toy. He means is the alt mode toy of the toy actually as long as that?
Yeah. If you look at the box behind Paul, look at the box behind what you're showing on the screen. You look.
He
at
wants
it.
you to look at the back of the box.
I can see it. It's in the screen. It's right there.
Let me just,
I know, but
let me just translate for Alexis.
Every time I've seen,
are you just trying to destroy everyone else's?
I'm not. Every time I see,
I pick up today, Andy. I had a really good joke going, and he destroyed it.
Did I miss that? I apologise. I family thing I had to sort out. And,
I
missed it.
Cyclonus.
I'll watch it
in
tomorrow
real
night.
life. I think it's quite stumpy, and Derek looks quite elongated, like a normal Cyclonus. Every time I see
your question is that a true representation of his alt mode?
Yes.
I don't know. I've only just bought him.
I would like to understand that, Paul. So
haven't you got Cyclonus?
Yeah, but he's in the box still because he's box still.
I'm really excited. Like I literally almost gave up not having my dinner so I could get someone to open him up. I thought, no, I'll have dinner. I'll eat. I'll adult if I have to.
Food.
Role model for the kids by eating food. Open toys afterwards. So
and that was
not swallowing.
As well.
I'm not swallowing. That's what I would.
And you actually walked into a store and bought that. That was available.
Yeah. There's loads of good stuff.
Wow.
The stuff I was tempted, I almost went mental as well and like spent a lot because they had Netflix Prime, which I've always liked when I've seen pictures of it. Actually seeing it right up close, it's like, oh, it does look really good. Who else? Warpath. I almost bought Warpath. I could have had Huffer was there. Got a bit sad.
Huffer was there. Was there. We tried not to make eye contact.
Was there. Huffer
still hurts too much.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Huffer. How are you?
Huffer toys were available.
He turned up with CJ face. And
one thing which did hit me though was I bought my son some Fortnite figures. And we've been buying him well, not recently, but the last couple of years, we bought him Power Rangers since Hasbro took over Power Rangers. And the quality of the toys they're doing is really good. Like the Power Rangers stuff is excellent. And the Fortnite figure that he got, which was Midas, is brilliant. It's so articulate and the guns, everything fits.
You ever watched Toy Galaxy?
Some people buy Fortnite figures to use with G.I. Joe, to custom into G.I. Joe figures.
Toy Galaxy, he does his figures of the kind of like quarter of the year and halfway through the year, and he talks about the best figures that he's seen and one of the things he said starting a couple of years back is he started collecting the Fortnite figures even though he didn't really have any interest in the game, just because he said how good these figures actually are in hand and how interesting the designs and everything are because of the designs that you get from the game. So he collects them as well, and he's not a fan of the game, so there must be something good about them.
They are good.
I played Fortnite last night. I was so upset.
Oh, we done well, didn't we, Alex? We had a good night. We played duos, didn't we? We done lots of bush hiding.
It
got weird at one point.
It's the future.
It got too comfortable, I'd say.
We came second twice.
The two of you in a bush.
Oh, fuck me. We so should have won. We were so close to coming first. All right.
There was a couple
then you
of
had
things.
to come out of the bush.
A couple of things. We got kills. We were doing well. We were like, if we'd just done things a little bit different, we could have won some of those matches.
When we got down to like the final 10, we thought, right, we'll just go to a bush in the area and then wait for gunshots. When we see gunshots, we'll then go off and sort of investigate gunshots and because again, we don't want to be the first one to shoot because every time it's the four of us or like generally it's all three of us, whenever we shoot first, we die because everyone's just firefight. And then it happened last night. Like you start shooting and then someone else comes and goes, "Oh, hello, mate!" Bang.
Yeah.
Because you got no time to reheal. So we thought we'll be the clever ones, right? We'll hide, and then when someone starts shooting, we'll give it a minute. When the gun starts bang, 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 we start to bang, 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 bang. We'll then go out and then we'll pick them off, and we did that. And then we were second twice, and we should have won. And we're fuck. Oh,
so you're the Fortnite equivalent of a goal hanger in football.
Yeah.
Just hang around waiting for the right opportunity.
No. We got some decent kills, some really good kills before bushing it. But sometimes it's right, bush, go to bush. Alex is it's bush time, isn't it? Bush time.
It was the one time going, quick, find the bush. I go, we're all too small. There's no big bush. We need a big bush. So God.
And then the guys who would kill would be really pissed off because they'd be like repairing their health, and then two people would come out the bush, take them down. Plus their health was low.
And that always happens to us. We were there, and then some guy comes over with his fucking arrow, which explodes. And we're going, what chance have you got? Right, you shoot two people, and
But yeah, that's what happened on Fortnite last night. But I was in the show then,
Fortnite
right?
Update.
Yeah. So the discussion,
Join us next
Rohan's
week.
corner, maybe. Sorry, Rohan's corner is up next. Over to you, Rohan.
Thank you, A-Team. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rohan's Corner. And this week, I am talking about Transformers retailers in the UK. And the reason why I've decided to talk about this topic today is because a few years ago we had limited choices about where we could buy our Transformers. We had some bricks and mortar stores like Toys R Us and Smiths and Toy Master and whoever else you could find them from, maybe some of the supermarkets in those days, Asda and Tesco's and so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden there was this resurgence of the online market where we had Kapow and In Demand serving us for 5-10 years, maybe longer, and a few other niche players in the market who were starting to come up, and people like Smiths starting to get their online presence available, the Entertainer as well. And over the last sort of 3 or 4 years, I've noticed, I'm sure you've all noticed, a massive surge in huge numbers of online retailers now offering Transformers to everyone in the UK with the ability to post them out, sometimes free of charge over certain values and sometimes with a small shipping fee. And this has brought about a huge range of smaller kind of, I don't want to call them mom and pop stores, but they are to an extent, smaller toy stores or toy specialists that we used to see back in the day when we were going out to our local BTs or down the high street to buy our Transformers from Woolworths. And, you know, although those retailers actually did a lot more than just Transformers or just toys sometimes, like Woolworths, there were specific, like, dedicated ranges along those retailers where you could go and buy those bits and pieces from. And the same was true of Toys R Us, obviously, being a very large toy specialist. Some of these toy specialists are focusing on Transformers or Hasbro brands, and some are focusing on a huge plethora of toy brands. And now I've made a list of what I think is pretty succinct Transformers retailers in the UK, and I've got about 31 UK-based retailers. That's a lot of those have popped up in the last 1 or 2 years, especially with the pandemic and everything else forcing more and more sales online. It means that we've had this plethora of opportunity to purchase from. Back in the day, I was buying from In Demand and Kapow sort of almost 10 years ago up until about 2014, 2015, and then I started to move across to people like eBay and people like Smiths and Toys R Us I used to purchase from when I could get to the store, but that wasn't that often. And so in today's day and age, probably in the last 4 or 5 years, I started to transition to buying primarily online, and I'm sure all of you have all been buying online for the last year at least. Now, some of these retailers, I'm going to put up a spreadsheet so you can all see, because I love a spreadsheet. Those of you who know me will have seen I make these all the time. And I've done one recently comparing all the prices for all the various different smaller retailers for the New Kingdom upcoming pre-orders, the Ark, Galvatron, Rodimus, Trax, those sorts of things. And doing a comparison of all their pricing so I can see who I'm going to buy from and split the orders into small orders, so that I can ensure that shipping takes place as quickly as possible and that my orders aren't being delayed because of large orders, which is what I've had with my first Kingdom and Studio Series wave of toys, which I still haven't got yet, but they should be coming within the next month or so. So I think my list is relatively succinct. Are there any retailers on my list that you think are missing, that you should be thinking I should be adding? And maybe we should have some sort of repository, maybe on TFUK or somewhere else, where we can all share this information and we can all be in the know-how of where the best prices are, where the best retailers are, who's offering the best loyalty scheme, and who's offering the first offer of products in the market. And this is especially important now with the launch of Hasbro Pulse UK, because while they are on my list, if you look at the pricing, you'll see that they they're always right at the top end with RRP along with Zavi, because they tend to put the highest price markup on their products, and even retailers like Smiths and The Entertainer tend to be better priced than them from a mass retailer perspective. And then obviously the smaller retailers, the more niche players, the more sort of dedicated retailers who are going to give you sort of more customer service focused kind of service, they are usually at the low end of the price points, and they're looking to gain your customer and bring on more customers into their market share. And so again, I'm coming back to this point that I tend to be loyal for a couple of years to a particular small retailer. I was with Games and Cards for a few years. I moved over to Chandru's. I'm now purchasing a bit from Collectible Kingdoms, from Collector's Den, from Robot Recruits, those sorts of people. And so there's a huge list on there of companies which I haven't used yet, so I can't, you know, guarantee them all. But at the same time, many people in the fandom have used them, and yeah, it's worthwhile checking out. So let us know, do you use any of these retailers? Are there any missing? What are your thoughts on retail? Are you sticking with Kapow and In Demand? Are you still buying from the large bricks and mortar stores, or going for the larger retailers like online, like Amazon? What is your method of purchase? Anyway, for another week, I've been Rohan on Rohan's Corner. Catch you next week. Back to the studio.
Hey boys, we've been rumbled. Well, let's bounce.
Thanks, Rohan. Right, on to our discussion. So tonight it's all about the value you see in Transformers, Transformers collecting. The value you see in Unicron. If you've bought him, you can sell him for $3,000 now. So who would like to take the lead on value, money?
So we're thinking really about which lines offer the best value for money, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well,
So
so I guess when I was looking at website, and I saw the price of different figures, and I saw the price. I saw the price of an MP figure, and I saw the price of a Legends figure, and the Legends figure was about 10% less than the MP figure. I was like, well, hang on a minute, that's a lot. And I thought the original,
who was it?
Legends figure, it was new. So Newage Galvatron was £55, and then X Transbots, their Fuzz, which is their Streetwise, was £70. I thought 55 fucking quid for a Legends figure, shit me. And I was like, well, hang on a minute. And I thought, obviously Hasbro released figures at what, £20, right? But do you get £20 of value? And obviously Rodimus, which has come out, which has been between £73 £85 again. And it's like the cost of figures, it appears to be going up generally with inflation, shall we call it. But again, I appreciate that there's different manufacturing costs, but are you getting true value from figures? And when you turn around and look at a figure, again, controversial here, right? And this is me just in my mindset, right, where I am right now, is I go, do I look at a figure and I go, and I'm thinking, am I getting true value from it just sitting there on a shelf? So what do I love about figures? Where's the true value? What do I enjoy about my Transformer? We
don't.
Oh, well, no.
I get an idea, but you've been drinking tonight.
Open question, right? What
isn't it? Well, you're meant to answer the fucking question, not give us a
down the park, jump us with goalposts, isn't it?
I'm not going.
What line at the moment is the best value in your opinion, Jamie and Andy?
Jamie.
For me, I think the best value right now is in UC stuff and the Kingdom stuff, definitely. I wouldn't have thought possible when I started to collecting that it would have jumped that far and that quick to what I've said is many masterpieces. And I know I'm quite more forgiving than most when it comes to, being able to see the robot hands and that when it's transformed like Huffer, loving the CG8 face. But yeah, I'm genuinely excited with the lines, and it seems much better value for money. Even though there's a lot of quality control issues, it does feel better value for money.
Actually, I'd agree with Jamie. Although me and Jamie are mostly, I think it's fair to say, chug collectors. But then I look at the Legends figures and the articulation and everything like that is fantastic. couldn't deny that. But then I always just look at them and think they're so small. And, 20 quid for a deluxe size Transformer, and so many of the deluxe Transformers we've had through Siege and Earthrise and Kingdom are absolutely knocking it out of the park. They are some of the best Transformers, if not the best, that I can remember. Then you've got, I suppose, the big one, third party. There's some third party companies who I think are really up there for quality, but then you're always paying a much bigger price, aren't you? It's like a figure, 80 quid for a figure, or you're going to pay 20, 25, 30 quid for a mainline figure. It's if you can afford it, you're going to do it, aren't you? It's what you think is worth it to you. But I have to say, I think the mainline Hasbro have been mostly, not entirely, but mostly smashing it in terms of how good the figures are. The only issue is, for whatever reason, whether it's because they're so mass produced and they cut costs on it or whatever, is the QC issues that we have had, or some people have had with figures. I've been really lucky with mine. I haven't had, I don't think, any of the problems really that most people have had with theirs. The only one I can think of is RC, and she's just a piece of shit anyway. So not as a person or anything, but the toy, the Earthrise toy, is just.
Yeah. Did she have QC?
Looking at RC in Smiths today, I thought she looked good. Like
she's not
robot mode.
I mean, the robot looks good, but it's not good. I tell you now.
I like the robot mode.
But did she have QC issues? That you're saying?
No, generally it was just. It was just crap, and I thought maybe it was just me, but then I've seen people post about it in the groups. I've seen reviewers who've done their kind of top 10 worst figures of last year, and RC was up there, if not number one, for several of them. It's just, for
something that's a shell, she should have been much easier to transform.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, is that the transformation should be fun, and it isn't fun with RC. It's too fiddly. Doesn't always go in properly. You do have to get those legs, like Jamie showed us once. I'm sure it was on the show, and I know he showed it in the groups. You've got to get the legs into exactly the right position so that it will all fit together nicely. But it starts feeling a bit like a chore, and that's another thing with Transformers. I think at the moment, you want a Transformer that is fun to transform and you enjoy doing it. You don't want something where you get to the end of it and you're pissed off or you're annoyed or whatever. I mean, if that's the case, what's the enjoyment of the figure then?
Well, there's value in that, isn't there? There's a value in the transformation.
Oh, definitely. If it's a transforming figure, there has to be, doesn't there? Isn't that the point of it, that you can transform it between modes, and if to whatever you want it to be? So,
but if you look at like alternators, they look great in both modes, but the transformations are awful.
Do you know what though? I never liked a lot of the robot modes for alternators. I didn't think looked that great.
It's
I thought they made sacrifices to the alternate
style.
modes. The alternate modes look good. The best one of the alternators I had that I actually enjoyed, and it was still ball like to transform, was Shockwave. I like that one, and I like the was it Mazda? Oh,
RX-8.
RX-8. Was it Subaru or Mazda RX-8?
Subaru was
RX-8
blue, wasn't it?
Or Subaru?
No, I think it was the Mazda. I think you're right. I think it was the Mazda RX-8. But it looks beautiful in the car mode. Robot mode was good, but then other ones, I mean, the Optimus, there was an Optimus Prime that had that turned into a Dodge pickup, and that was it was up there as one of the worst Transformers that I've ever had the misfortune to lay my hands on. It was just
looking at value. I think as a child collector, I think when I look at Unicron, which I got this week, that was like an exception to the rule. That was very expensive. I personally think he was worth it, but I would also say to any chug collectors, you're not missing out in not having them either. It's like one of those weird verses. It's like it's a bonus to have, but you're not going to miss out because he's that big, he's that heavy. You're not going to have the same fun. Or he's not really a toy in the sense, you'll be playing with your kids or something like that. He's not going to be like your Fortress Maximus. He's like a Metroplex for me anyway. So I don't think you'll be missing out from what a lot of Transformer fans like, and that's playing around and transforming. He's more like a centerpiece, something for your collection. And
I think that's probably true, Jamie, because it's one of those things that if you've got it in your collection, you're probably going to be absolutely chuffed, and it's the kind of thing you can say you've got that not many people really have got compared to a lot of other Transformer figures. But if you haven't got it, I mean, I I've obviously seen Alexis's, and we can all sit there on the desk of your pictures, the ones I was able to see, thankfully, and then seeing it behind you. And you can't deny it's got incredible presence and it's an incredible display piece. But it's like, I still look at it and think, if I had it, it'd be great, but where would I put it?
Yeah.
And like you say, what would I do with it really? Am I having it because of what it is, just to say I have it, or just because it's such a rarity? You know, it's like having an original G1 Fort Max. I mean, the price they go for, you know, to get an original G1 Fort Max, brilliant if you can afford it. But again, I don't feel like I'm missing out massively by not being able to get one of them.
Yeah, that was the feeling I had.
This is my point, I guess, right? If you once you've got it and you've transformed it, right, and you put it back and you pose it, right, do you get better value just buying, selling that and then buying a statue to replace what you've got almost? Because how many times are you going to pick it up? And I do try and flick my figures back and forth. Those keen viewers will see that I'm flicking my Combaticons back and forth.
And keen viewers will notice you've not transformed your Unicron yet.
Shut up, you tart. Right, but
Shut
it's
up.
the point.
That's why you destroyed my big up.
You can't right though, Alexis, because if it's just a statue, though, if it's just a statue, if you just want it as a robot on a shelf that looks really like that robot mode, then does it need to transform? In which case,
in the mode you want to pose it in, right? Because everyone tries to pose it. Not everyone, but some people just have it in a mode, in a stoic mode, and then some people try to be a little bit more, dynamic about the way they pose it, right? It's like, but again, what are you getting from that? What enjoyment are you getting, I guess. And I try to fiddle with my formers as much as I can, but how much I've got so many now. I've agreed that I'm decluttering. I'm going to pull back and just focus on what I think is important to me. I'm not getting value from what I've invested in my I think I can spend it on better things. So if I drop out, things, will I miss them? Maybe not. So Unicron, amazing, had it, experienced it, can talk about it. Once I've transformed it, enjoyed it, indulged in it, if I send it on somewhere else where someone else can enjoy it, am I going to miss it? Yeah, probably. But am I really going to miss it? Not
when you consider the $1.5 grand profit you'll make.
Or am I going to really enjoy the money?
Help there. I've ordered it. So I ordered mine from Kapow. Same, Jamie, did you do yours with Kapow?
Yeah, but I did it. You got the second batch, stop.
Yeah.
I
wonder if my batch is coming later. It's just not turned up yet. But I look at the prices it's going for, and I just think that's loads. Like that's free as well. Like
it's almost sold it. We've discussed this before. But it's almost like an investment, isn't it? You can almost say with a figure like that even if you don't like it, you will be able to sell that on at, if you wanted to, more than tidy profit. Or you can sell it on at cost price, like some people obviously feel that you should.
I kid you not, I absolutely killed myself taking photos this weekend of that big boot and transforming it. And I felt like I was working out and stuff like that. And I was trying it without the stand as well, for certain photos. And I thought, no, I'm putting it back on the stand. I don't want it crashing through my TV set or taking out half my figures just because the cat decided to jump on the table or something like that. So...
Do you guys feel when you've taken? So this is my thought process, and again, I've seen.
Oh, that's good beer.
Paul taking photographs of hot rods.
God, and Budweiser's pissed, man. It's like
when you take photographs of the former, is that your peak? Is that your peak? Because like when I took photographs of Getaway, I then thought, do I actually? He's not an amazing bot compared to like the Orion packs. He doesn't have the articulation. He's a nice bot. But because
is that your peak of you having that bot? Are you saying
potentially? And I haven't.
No,
because I haven't read. Because I haven't read
IDW.
Well, because you had, for example, Paul, you had hot rods, right? You took photographs of them and sold them on, and it's like now. And as an example, you're now creating your 80s, 90s, 70s shelf. You're obviously 70s with the Enterprise, but it's 80s, 90s, and 70s shelf, right? But I'm like, I've got Ninja Turtles, I've got Thundercats, both 80s, and just want to say it's not 70s. But I like
hairstyle's definitely from the 50s.
Shut up.
Mustaches.
Shut up.
That was from when I was
Swinging
14. Right?
20s, 1920s.
How do I?
Somewhere in the
just keep all-
teens.
No, but the point is, right, I like to do other things, right? But then what do I want to do? Do I want to display or take photographs? And what do I get? And I guess beforehand I got the completed them, right? And it's like now I'm going, I've completed, right? I guess I haven't got all the headmasters from fan stories, but are they going to release them? Is it important to me? I've completed so many other areas that are cool. I'm now doing customs. I'm thinking, which are cool, but I'm thinking I'll get them, and I'll go, well, how much joy are they going to get? I'm like,
Can I ask you a question, Alexis? Can I just ask?
yeah,
Which line of the things that you collect do you think actually is the best value for money, though? Which one actually do you think you get the most for your money? Because you get a lot of the masterpiece and third-party figures, don't you? And they're considered the more high-end ones. So are they genuinely, in your mind, more value for money than the fact that you've started picking up all of the Earthrise and Kingdom and Siege figures for your kids? Do you think of the ones that you've played with that they are genuinely that much better than, I don't know, Earthrise Cliffjumper or Kingdom Inferno or Cyclonus or whoever?
I think they're different. I would say that I still think Masterpiece is definitely the best in a sense of like, I wouldn't compare a Masterpiece figure to a Chug figure. I have tried, and like looking at them, you can see the clear differences. For me, value-wise, I do like the Masterpiece. What I enjoy though is actually having a really cool figure that I can then flip between. As you said, like it's like flipping between. Paul, cover your ears. I don't care about Hard Panther. I love transforming the figure, but I love the fact that it looks so cool in both modes. I mean, something like this this figure here is like 8 years old, I think, roughly. People correct me on the chat if you or comments I'm wrong, right? This thing here, but if you look at the helicopter mode, it looks so cool, and everyone criticizes Springer because these are the feet in robot mode. These are the feet, right? And in this today's age, right, they would just do the same transformation. They'd have a panel which is folded over and made that grey, and that'd be it, right? But in back then they didn't have that, so they re-engineered it like 3 or 4 times. So
that was only 65, wasn't it?
That was 65. This figure was 90, and spoiler, it broke. It's got like a little piece under here which pulls out on the ball peg, sorry, and a metal one, and on a hinge, and it broke. I was there. I'll put these figures on. I'll send these figures to you, but if you want to put it on, welcome or not. I had to then tweeze this thing back in, right, and just about work it out. I was about to put something on Fans Toys group to say, has anyone else had a fuck up with this figure? But it's like, I wouldn't say this is a better figure than that one. I would say that's a better figure. But it's like, which one's more value? The Springer. I got unique toys. The DX9. That's that DX9 Rodimus, one of my favorite figures, because I can flick it back and forth, right, with the peace of mind that I'm not going to break it, and yet at the end of the day, I get something which is so cool. And that, I guess, I want an MP figure, which is like, so my MP10, which was the first MP figure my wife bought me, one of the best figures ever, right? That's a Takara Hasbro figure, right? But it's still so durable. It's so good. You want a robust figure, and most of all the Hasbro figures nowadays are robust, but it's the quality, the finish at the end of it, right? When you transform MP10, when you transform one of these figures, right, they just shine. They are so nice.
How much is a Masterpiece figure going for at the moment, though, Alexis? The new Masterpiece figures that are coming out, aren't they now up in like the £200-300 bracket?
It varies. If you're going to get
for the Transformers Masterpiece figures, not the third party, the actual Masterpiece figures.
Yeah.
But wasn't Dinobot something like was it 200 or 200?
How much was Hound?
So Dinobot was 190.
190, that was it.
And then you got a fourth party knockoff of it for 70 quid.
Right. So that's getting a knockoff version.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean with Masterpiece. To me, £190 for just that one figure. I don't know. It just seems like I say, with other lines, you could get several figures that are all arguably as good, if not better.
The figure is very. Have you ever watched a video?
Is it value for money?
Before you ask the question, Paul. Sorry, ask that question in 1 second. Has anyone here ever watched?
Answered the question in your life.
No. Has
He'll answer any question. It won't be the one we asked. It's the one in his head.
Has anyone
the voices
here
are talking?
Watched like an Emgo or a Dame Choc or something? Has anyone ever watched a video on like MP Dinobot, which is like £190? Everyone watched a review of that?
I have.
I think I've watched part of one.
Yeah, I watch them every night.
Jamie, what do you think? Does it look that good? Does it feel that good?
I'm not going to spend 190 quid in that. Get to fuck.
I never said that, but does it look good though?
Isn't there the Kingdom version now though?
Look good.
That's supposedly very good.
Most Transformers look good to me, but you know, it's not the point. I'll look at a figure. Am I going to have fun with it, or am I going to have a breakdown because I baked something on it? You know,
I agree with that.
I'm thinking about my mental health there. I'm experienced, Alexis. I'm
agree. Agree. Going back to my point, I felt like I was going to break the Dinobot, and I didn't break it, so I was lucky.
Probably, I think with the amount of fucking Transformers that Hasbro make, they probably edge it in terms of their Titan's Return seemed to, for me, pitch it at the best value because the prices were really good for the size of the robots and the accessories you got, like the head transforming and stuff, and a lot of the so probably Titan's Return was the best, but some of the price rise in Kingdom and in Siege I think was worth it. And Earthrise, they've gone up a little bit in price, but the quality you can see, like that Optimus Prime is amazing. That is like masterpiece. It's better, I think, than MP10 as a Transformer. I think it's a great Transformer. If I had to think of a third party, I think you can't really say all of Masterpiece is not good value for money, or all of Legends isn't good value for money. If you look at the company, so if there's one company I would say was an amazing value for money, it'd be McFan's Toys. And when you think they used to just copy everything, so they used to put out clones of toys, and now they're doing their own stuff, and it's really good. So probably the one which really sits well for me is Astra Train. So third party, this is Legend scale, and it's like £20, and it's just one of the best Transformers I've had. So pardon me?
I agree with you though, Paul. I don't think you can say that generally speaking, all Legends are the best value for money, or all Chug are the best value for money, or
New
all
Age,
Masterpiece or anything, because it does depend on the company, the figures itself individually. But if we're talking on kind of a blanket, right, if you did have to say which line is the best value for money, which one would you go for?
There is an example there, Andy, because if you look at, so I saw someone selling the Ramjet and Dirge 2-pack recently for around £200, and you can buy MP Dirge and Ramjet, Ramjet. Yeah, Ramjet. Okay, those guys, the duo, for about £100 a pop.
I would say though that anybody who's willing to pay £200 for that Ramjet and Dirge set, that's on them to pay that money. That's not how much they should be going for, is it?
No,
that wasn't their
what they were really. It's got to be the original price.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, okay, you can buy. Right, you can buy. So you can buy. Okay, if it's original, then it's different. But you can still buy a KO Seeker. No, because the original, as you said, the Legends version of what you got is £20, £25. The Masterpiece version is 10 times the price. But if you look at a Seeker mold, which is very notorious for being mass produced, you can buy the Yes model for £70.
That's not what I was saying. I was saying McFan's Toys probably to me represent the best value for money.
No, but what I was going to say was if they were the same
what's
price.
What's it got to do with McFan's Toys?
No, but if two toys were the same price, which one would you choose? If you had a Chug, Ramjet or Dirge, and then the MP version, which they were the same
so you're
price.
Saying that, but it doesn't make sense because you're saying that because Dirge was hard to get, or Thrust was hard to get in Earthrise because his price went up. There's going to be MP toys, isn't there? Which are, like you were saying, that metallic Magic Square Optimus Prime is quite hard to get. So you're going to pay a premium for that. So I wouldn't say that's value. Something's not. It hasn't got a mass release, so the prices go up. That can't contribute to whether that's toys value or not.
Often see Legends figures more expensive than Chug figures. Would you say that
That's
Would
why I
you
say
say a
McMahon's Toys. It's cheaper than Chug, but it's got the same level of articulation as the rest of Legends. And McMahon's Toys just seem to be leading the way with that.
But if you look at Prime though, Magic Square Prime was it 40 or 50 pounds? And that's the same price. That's the same price as the
yeah. No, that's what I said.
Prime.
The New Age and Magic Square and Iron Factory, to an extent, are probably don't represent the best value for money, but McMahon's Toys do.
No. My point is Magic Square do, because if you look at Magic Square Perceptor, he's £30 brand new. If you look at Magic Square and Iron Factory, generally they're around the £30 price mark. New Age are 40 to 50.
Yeah, New Age is the most expensive, but they are like masterpiece Transformers shrunk down.
But Magic Square though, and Iron Factory, and I wouldn't say Iron Factory is up there with New Age, I think, but they are much more reasonably priced.
Yeah,
but
I still think McMahon's Toys blows them out the water for value.
Well, yeah, they are, but they're cheaper plastics.
Yeah, definitely cheaper.
Well, I like rock gloves. There you go.
McMahon's Toys do. No, their quality is getting better. I don't know about the factory, but they are getting better. But generally, I guess value, are we saying, is like scale? It's in the eye
of the beholder. I think that's a good. Oh, fuck off, Puffer. Right, we'll finish the show.
Love him.
Lovely Robot Mode.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Have you guys had a good St. George's Day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We did what most English people did on St. George's Day and completely ignored the fucking thing.
That's it.
Did not even know.
We're not allowed to be proud of being English, so we'll just.
Oh, come on!
Brush it under the carpet.
You guys, I would say, go get a dragon, get a virgin maiden, and then entice a dragon.
Just idiots ruined it though, didn't it? Like.
Apart from
EDL and stuff, like posting pictures up saying we should celebrate, and you just think, oh,
yeah, but we ignore them. We get that in Scotland. See, that's the thing. We have those idiots in Scotland who do that same thing with the St. Andrew's flag. The difference is we don't care. We just ignore them. You English people, you seem to focus on them and go, oh my God, we must do something to hate these guys.
Well, we're English.
Ignore them.
You English people.
You know,
we panic about everything being taken the wrong
like
way.
the wankers. I mean, Christ,
we're very sorry. Very sorry.
Who was that?
Who was genocide
rap
right now,
artist.
and you guys are still going on about what you did 400
Enter the
years ago.
dragon. Liberasco.
Enjoy yourselves at least once a year. You like to be English once.
Alexis is having a breakdown. We should probably
right. We better go because he's going to start doing white rapping soon.
We had enough of that the other week.
What's the Instagram, Alexis?
Let me get my Spotify up. We'll...
But you're really
Jamie,
bad at rugby. You should be drinking your sorrows when you think about it, because you used to be good at rugby. Now
Jamie,
you're fish.
Stop slagging us off Twitter.
Will you give it a rest, Jamie?
So TF UK.
TF Show UK. I don't know anyone. TF Show UK.
Transfomers The Show on Instagram. TF UK on Facebook. I had to mute Alexis. He's about to play some music.
Yeah, don't get Spotify up, Alexis. Nobody's asked you to do that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, TF UK. Go there.
Then he shows his
we love
videos.
you. Bye.